Got to be the guy.
Very inconsistent to start the season, but as Pac-12 play moved along, he became a really good guard. As long as he limits his turnovers, he is a big-time guard in this league. Kyle Smith needs that night in and night out throughout this season.
And Dan, it's November. All kinds of question marks across the landscape of college basketball. The Cougars have theirs.
Oh, the biggest one is right off the top. How do you replace C.J. Ellaby, drafted in the second round of the NBA draft a week ago? We mentioned Isaac Bonton's consistency, but the biggest question might be who steps up. Is it Noah Williams, a sophomore from Seattle? Is it Jazz Kuntz? We'll find out starting tonight.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for college basketball on the Palouse. Texas Southern out of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. It's Washington State. It's tip-off week, presented by Tums. Starting lineups, the tip-off when we come back. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the busy streets of Pullman, Washington. It's tip-off week presented by Tums. Texas Southern, the favorite to win the Southwestern Athletic Conference this year, in town to take on the Washington State Cougars. You see the starting lineups. Nicholas, Walker, Gillum, Weathers, Galen Alexander. They're at number one on top of the list. For Washington State, you see Isaac Bonton, Noah Williams. Really a great splash a year ago for the Cougars. Rodman's going to do what he does. Dan, but Jazz Kuntz has got to come into his own this year as we look at Kyle Smith on the bench for the Cougars.
Yeah, I think the Cougars are definitely looking for a third option this season. Jazz Kuntz he's the guy. Showed promises a year ago as a sophomore, but he's got to be much more consistent as a stretch four in pick and pop situations.
And Johnny Jones in his third season as the head coach at Texas Southern. F.A. Abagati ready to tip off against Jordan Nicholas, and it will be Tigers basketball to begin. The last time these two programs met on this floor, it was settled in overtime.
Well, don't expect Texas Southern to back down in any way, shape, or form. 2 years ago, they knocked off 3 Power 5 conference teams. Baylor, Oregon, and Texas A&M. They're going to come to Pullman looking to pull off an upset.
And the rotation not there. The open look from Walker doesn't go. And Washington State with Williams with the basketball right down the lane. Looks to attack, but lost the handle. Back comes Weathers. Weathers at the other end, through those hands, and he scores our first bucket of the game.
Turnover on one end leads to a breakout opportunity for Texas Southern. Got to have better balance on the offensive end for the Cougars.
There's Abogada. Here's Jazz Kuntz into the lane. Got the defense in the air, draws the foul. And that is our first foul of this game. What do you want to see from the Cougars? What does Kyle Smith want to see in these early moments?
Well, I would think he wants to see a little bit of consistent running of the team by Isaac Bonton, getting everybody involved and under control. He showed stretches a season ago where he could really shoot the basketball, but where he struggled at times was decision-making. Turned it over way too many times. Quite frankly, he's better as a 2 than as a 1, but with this roster makeup, he's got to play a bulk of the minutes at the point.
Kuntz hitting the front end, a 71% shooter from the line a year ago, gets the generous bounce. We're tied at 2. Kuntz scored just under 5 points a game last year for Washington State, now a junior out of Slovenia. And here come the Tigers of Texas Southern. Nicholas. This is Alexander looking for a space. They go to the post, loose ball. Kuntz picks it up and got it to Bonton. Isaac now with that great flow. Reminds me of a young Dan Dickow back in the day.
Hair flying in the wind.
Here's Kuntz again. Great leave. Abogati can't catch it, but it's off of a Tiger out of bounds. Washington State ball with 17 on the shot clock.
Early in this game, you see the comfort level that Washington State has, putting the ball in Kuntz's hands. That's the second pick and roll opportunity that he's had to be the ball handler.
Williams. Here's Bonton still looking for his first shot. Throws the lob up. Oh, a great tip in under there by Abogati.
Well, Abogati has shown a lot in his first 2 minutes. He can be a presence after a pick and roll with his diving to the basket. That time, the deflection, he was able to corral it for the tip in.
Here's Nicholas driving the lane, left it short. Abogati got a hand on it. and a foul called against Jazz Kuntz, the first against him, the first against the Cougars.
Pick and roll, Abou-Gadi dives to the bucket. Texas Southern gets a hand on it, but Abou-Gadi able to come up with the tip in for two. Reminds me of a player a couple years ago here at Washington State under Ernie Kent, Valentine Izundu. If there were fans here, Abou-Gadi would be a fan favorite in a hurry.
Weathers short on that shot. Abou-Gadi the rebound.
I remember you, Greg. You really loved Izundu's game.
Him. Here's Rodman from deep. That's short. The heave up court. Alexander in transition. The spin on Rodman. And it goes, and they call offensive.
Actually called a travel there,
Greg. They called a travel.
A good call by the official. Pivot foot did not get down in time. Galen Alexander called for the travel. A chance to take another look at it. That right foot needed to come down before he gathered.
That was close. But you see this Cougar defense, DJ Rodman, a big part of that. If Kyle Smith has a successful season, and then you see the versatility of Rodman going to the rim, the finish with the left hand.
We talked about Kuntz. Is he going to be a new consistent option? But if DJ Rodman is able to get into the paint like that, that will be a big-time bonus for the Cougars. A season ago, he earned minutes down the stretch of the season based off of his defensive play and his work on the glass.
And Kyle Smith loves that makeup as Williams lines up the deep three. Bounced out of bounds. Possession to Texas Southern. But listen, Kyle Smith, obviously like every coach, Dan, he loves to score points. He's a numbers guy, but he's a guy, I think, whose program is always going to start in the defensive end. If you want to rebuild in Pullman, you got to do it. He's got some players that can do that.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Greg. He's building this defensively to offense, and he wants to take away threes, make you shoot contested twos, and he's got a lot of length with his front court to be able to play in a way that makes teams take contested shots.
This is Gillen with 5 on the shot clock. He's in trouble. I'm not sure he realizes the clock. And there's a shot clock violation, the first of this half. Turnover, Cougar basketball. And there is the head coach, Johnny Jones. This is a guy that's been around, Dan. He's a winner.
He's as respected as they come in college basketball coaching circles. Head coach at LSU, spent a lot of time there as an assistant, recruited guys such as Shaquille O'Neal, Chris Jackson, who became Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, so he knows the game very well.
Bonton's first look is off. Offensive rebound by Abou-Gadi. He's a machine so far for Washington State.
Active is the best way to describe his game. Talked to assistant coach Jim Shaw the other day. He said if his skill matches up with his energy level anytime soon, he is going to be a force. John Walker faces up, hits the 15-foot jumper, and it's an 8-4 game, second bucket for the Tigers. This Tiger team won 16 games a year ago, but they are the preseason favorite to win the SWAC. And there is Tony Miller crashing the boards. Bonton shot is off. These two teams going at it early. Here's Alexander with a run out and the two-handed flush for Texas Southern, 8-6. Well, that's the second time Washington State has had poor balance getting back in defensive transition. Bonton, your point guard, takes a corner three. You can't expect him to be the guy back. That's got to be Noah Williams or Rodman in that particular possession.
Williams off the dribble. Missed the shot, rebounded by Nicholas. And running the floor, and the hammer at the other end is John Walker, the feed up the floor. And just like that, we are tied at 8, 15-13 to play in the first half. Come on back to Pullman. We're underway.
Can't.com/TV.
And a reminder to all, coming up at the half, it is the Pac-12 halftime report with a couple of legends, Ashley Adamson and Earl Watson. First half recap, highlights from around the conference. That's coming up on your Pac-12 halftime report. Greg Heister, Dan Ditka. Dan, you had some showdown with Earl Watson.
Tremendous play. On some really good UCLA teams that I battled against when I was at the University of Washington, and then matched up with him a number of times in the NBA. Tremendous competitor. Heck of a coach. Hawkins for a while. I'm sure it won't be too long before he gets another chance at a head job, whether it's NBA or NBA or college. Hard to tell.
And the travel call on Rapp with just 5 seconds to go on that shot clock. So the turnover gives Texas Southern the basketball. They're up by a point. Isaac Bonton, Dan, 1 of 11, 1 of 7 from behind 3. Those are not numbers that Kyle Smith is going to be happy with ever.
Well, it's a tough one because he's your go-to guy. You want him to be aggressive. You need him to be aggressive. But at a certain point when you're 1 for 11, you got to start looking for other options and getting guys on your team looks.
And the rebound there by Rapp, doing a good job getting in there to fight for the basketball. Here's Bonton. Step back, 3, in and out. That shot was halfway down. Alexander the rebound. This is Hopkins. He's tough in the open floor. Left that little runner short, though. It's out of bounds, and it stays with Texas Southern and a new shot clock.
And this is, again, where if Miles Fitzgerald Warren or Kalulabi were able to play, which they can't tonight due to injuries, you have the ability to get Bonton on the bench, talk to him, reset his mind, recalibrate what you want done for the last 3 minutes or so of this first half, so that going into the second half, you're in a good spot.
Here's Kuntz. Bonton. Miller, the little screen. Shot from 3 is off. And winning that chase to the rebound was number 15, Justin Hopkins. And this is, again, a graduate transfer winning the battle to a loose ball.
We've seen it a number of times. They're just a little bit quicker to the loose ball. They're willing to get on the floor.
And the foul called on Kuntz. That's 5 team fouls against Washington State this half, 2:43 to play. Here's Hopkins, and he'll hand it off to Weathers. Weathers drives on Bonton. It's poked away, out of bounds, Cougar basketball. So the discussion at halftime for head coach Kyle Smith is what? Let's just settle down, right?
Well, with Bonton being your primary ball handler, leading scorer, somebody who can really shoot it, you got to find ways to get him easier looks. Yes, he's pressing a little bit himself, I think, but bring the ball down the floor as a point guard. As soon as you let go of it, think as a 2. That time, a nice job setting up a back cut situation. Kuntz, the nice delivery. Bonton gets to the line. Many times, a shooter, a scorer like Bonton just needs to see the ball go through the basket. 2 free throws could be that opportunity to get him on track.
And you just saw him there talking to himself. And again, we've seen Isaac Bonton enough. He may be 1 of 13 now, but by the time this game's over, he could be up to 50% shooting. We've seen that happen before, Dan. This guy is a guy that might miss 10 in a row and then make 10 in a row.
True. He's got that mentality. Make or miss, I'm going to keep shooting.
He won't stop, that's for sure. He will not stop. And I don't think Kyle Smith wants him to. He's really their best option offensively.
Yeah, what makes him a good player is that he has a short memory. He could miss 2 or 3 in a row, and it doesn't faze him coming down the floor the next time.
And he's got the flow. The Dan Dickow flow, as I call it. Washington State back in front with the free throws. They're perfect from the line in this game. They lead at 26-25. And now the defense trying to smother the ball. You look at Miller working hard. Skip pass. Here's Walker over Rodman. Bangs in the 3. And it's 28-26 now. Texas Southern. They are 3 of 10 from behind the three-point line. Here's Miller. Skip. Ball was deflected. Here's Rapp. Miller offensive rebound. Got it back up there. And he'll shoot free throws. And that kind of encapsulates Tony Miller's game right there. He's a guy that's going to battle you for every rebound. And just in a matter of a second, he's got enough footwork and craftiness, Dan, to get the ball back up. I like his game.
Well, that's exactly what he did down the stretch of last season to make an impact and an imprint on a number of games. Last regular season game of the year, a season ago, 21 points, 8 rebounds against Arizona State. 6 of those rebounds were on the offensive end.
Their first miss from the free throw line right there by Tony Miller. And the rebound by Nicholas. Minute 30 to play first half. Neither team shooting the ball well. Texas Southern at 36.7%. Washington State at 26.7%. This is Nicholas, 10 on the shot clock. Alexander drives, stops, missed it, wrapped the rebound. Bonton wanting the ball, he has it. There's Kuntz in the corner. And Kuntz is bumped and fouled by John Walker. And Texas Southern, you saw there, doing a great job on the closeout. I like their intensity at that end.
Well, they close out to Kuntz because he's got the look of a shooter. His numbers from a season ago don't necessarily dictate that hard of a closeout, but Kuntz did the right thing. Drive the closeout. He's just got to get his shoulder down a little bit lower and be able to play a little stronger through some contact. That's the second or third time that he's been knocked off his line on a drive because he's playing too straight up and down.
Get down there and coach him, Daniel. Kuntz now.
I like sitting with you, and I like sitting with you better, Greg.
Yeah. Can't get fired up here. Well, I guess you could. But it's a lot harder to. Kuntz remains perfect from the free throw line. He's 5 of 5 in this game, ties the game at 28.
So you're saying as a coach I'd be fired. I'd get fired.
Yeah, sooner or later. And wow, what a take. Michael Weathers right to the rim. A chance for the three-point play with 47.6 seconds to play first half.
Explosive finish. I mean, Bonton's got to do a better job of keeping him in front and not allowing a direct line drive, but where is the help? And I think you could almost read those exact words from Bonton there. The help side has got to be there, ready to react.
Weathers, his first free throw of the game is good. It's a three-point game. And Weathers now with 7 points. Trails only Walker, who has 8 for Texas Southern. Miller thought about the three. Should have thought a little longer. 3-point game. Texas Southern with the ball. And about 6-second differential between the two clocks.
The game has evolved to many times 4 or 5 shooters on the floor at a time. But many times if you're open on the perimeter, it's for a reason. Understand your game, swing it, move into a next pick and roll, maybe dribble a handoff. No need to force it.
Weathers into the corner. Brigham for 3. That's off. Long rebound and another chance for Texas Southern. They can close out this first half with a bucket. The drive, you saw defensively. Weathers got it back but doesn't get it off in time. We've got a 31-28 score at halftime in Pullman. Washington State led by F.A. Abogadi, the freshman, with 9 points. And for Texas Southern, John Walker had 8 points. 31-28 our score. The Tigers out of the Southwestern Athletic Conference have come to Pullman to play. 3-point game at the half. And the tip-off week presented by Tums continues now. It is the start of the second half between Washington State and Texas Southern. Greg Heister, Dan Dickow, preseason media all-conference first team. Dano, peruse this list. Who's the guy that's going to shock the world and maybe be the player of the year?
There's some good names on that list. Remy Martin, preseason All-American by a number of publications and outlets, is a guy I've got my eye on, as well as the freshman from USC, Evan Mobley. But we're talking about the Cougars. Isaac Bonton, senior on the second team preseason media all-conference. He struggled in the first half. Let's see if he can turn it around here in the second.
Yeah, Bonton, not a great first half, 1 of 13, but he is the best offensive option for Washington State. He'll continue to shoot the ball. And he's got to have a good second half for the Cougars to pull this out. Agree with that?
I do. I think he's got to do a little better job of picking and choosing his spots and not forcing the action.
And there's the deflection and the turnover to begin. And it's Texas Southern basketball. Jordan Gillum, number 11, with the ball, gave it up to Alexander. Down low, going to the rim. Missing the easy shot is Nicholas. But the ball comes right out to Gillum, and he calmly buries the three.
That's a heartbreaker for Washington State to start the half. The Tigers miss a layup, and the Cougars can't quite come up with a rebound. Ends up popping out to an open shooter, Gilliam, at the three-point line.
Texas Southern now 4 of 12 from behind that three-point line. Deflection out of bounds. Possession stays with Washington State. And this is what Bonton does. This is how he finds rhythm. He goes to the rim a lot. One of these wild shots go in, and it could create an avalanche of offense for him. We've seen it before.
Yeah, he's a guy who plays with a ton of confidence. It doesn't get shaken easily, as evidenced by that shot right there with the defense in his space. Well, you touched on it. You mentioned the game last season. 34 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists on Klay Thompson jersey retirement night.
Yeah, Klay loved that performance from Bonton. Jump stop in the middle. Got it to Abou-Ghani, but he missed the hammer. Oh, an opportunity there to throw it down with 2 hands. And now a foul away from the ball against Texas Southern. I believe it's John Walker who picked up that personal foul.
Little aggressive on the early seal in transition. Kuntz did a nice job of fighting Walker, not allowing him to get that early position. But talking about Klay Thompson, the jersey retirement night, what a tough break if you're a Klay Thompson fan, which I'm sure a lot of Cougar
They all are. We all
alumni are. Yeah, but I mean, unfortunate news. Tears his Achilles a week or so ago. Looks like he'll be missing another NBA season. I did the same injury in my career. It's not easy to come back from.
And possession goes back to Washington State. Texas Southern missing on that transition pass. The other end prior to that, Rodman got inside, but again, shots not falling for Washington State in this game. Down by 6, a lot of time to go, obviously, but they've got to find a rhythm. Can they do that? This is their first game of the year.
Well, it's going to be hard because it's first game, but I think, you know, based on the fact that they don't have a C.J. Ellaby type player where you can just give him the ball, let him create, you're going to see a lot more different looks from the Cougars on the offensive end, and that's the kind of look that Bonton needed, and then he knocks it down.
With confidence, but he had space, right? Defense wasn't there. He was open, and he calmly drilled it. 3-point game. Maybe that's what gets Isaac Bonton going. And trust me, if he does, it'll be an avalanche. What a spin there. John Walker, the redshirt junior from Houston, Texas, with the answer for the Tigers.
Silky smooth on the spin move to the cup.
Abou-Ghani, and now Williams will line up the 3. That's short. Rebounded Alexander. They go for the home run, but Noah Williams got back. But Gillum out of there with it, left it underneath, and Abou-Ghani got back defensively with the shot block to save 2 points.
The quick instincts to recover, and then the block shot by Abou-Ghani. Tremendous reaction there on the defensive end. He is showing
and he didn't
a
bite
lot
on
of
the shot
upside.
block or the pump.
Yeah, stayed straight up and down.
And again, he may have gotten a hand on it, but nonetheless, he clears the rebound. And here's Williams in the open floor, and the offensive foul is called on Noah Williams.
An easy call for the official on the baseline. Noah Williams didn't like it, but that defender read that move literally from half court, was standing there patiently waiting to step in and take the charge. But back to Abou-Ghani, and you made the comment about him staying on the floor. For a young athletic shot blocker like him, that is a lot more difficult than the average fan recognizes and realizes. You see a shot fake, most young guys go up to block it. He stayed on the ground, kept his position, and contested once the offensive player himself left the floor.
Here's Alexander. Abou-Ghani, the freshman out of Delta State, Nigeria. Listed at 6'10", 225. 8 on the shot clock. Abogadi out there guarding a long way from the bucket. Settles back underneath. There's the shot. Is good from Galen Alexander. And a foul called on DJ Rodman. A chance for 3.
Nice face-up, jab step move there by Galen Alexander to create some space.
Yeah, that's pretty basketball. He's a senior, transfer from Georgetown.
And that right there, if there's young kids out there watching, that shows the importance of footwork. You're in a jab step situation, triple threat. A hard jab gets the defense to bite one direction, crossover back in the other, and create your space and just elevate. No need for 3-4 dribbles. One dribble in a confined space to create space, raise up, shoot the jumper over the top.
Alexander completes that 3-point play. Largest lead of the game now for the Tigers at 39-31. There's Rapp, handoff. Bonton, he's got space there. Turned down the shot. He'll drive, lost the handle. Picked up by Rosas, and now up court to Gillum. And Texas Southern now with a chance to get it to double digits from the free throw line. That shot off by Rosas. Bonton, the rebound. Bonton, nice move, got to the rim, missed with the left hand though. Baldwin clears the rebound. The shots were better by Bonton. He had space inside. That could have gone down. And the offensive foul inside on Rosas. And that's Jazz Kuntz slow to get up. Timeout on the floor. 15:37 to play in Pullman. And we've got an 8-point game at 39-31.
We have a crisis.
More of jam-packed fun coming your way.
15:37 to play in Pullman, Washington, and Texas Southern with the 8-point lead at 39-31. Washington State, Dan Dickow, they've got to find a way to get some offense going, but right now there's a problem at the other end too, because down by 8, that clock's going to start to become an issue. You've got to get some stops, and then you got to be able to convert at both ends.
Yeah, Texas Southern is doing a nice job on the offensive end as far as mixing things up. They're going to push opportunistically in transition. If they don't have anything, they've done some nice offensive things today. They've run continuity ball screens. They've run a few other sets to get guys like John Walker III some opportunities. Washington State's going to have to climb up and get things done on that end of the floor.
Here's Bonton. He's hit 1 free this half, 1 in the first half. Abogadi with 12 on the shot clock. Bonton lost the handle right to Rodman though. And now Rapp a long way from the bucket. Got it to Bonton. He'll shoot a deep 3. And just like that, and that's what I mean about Bonton. That didn't look like a good shot, but he had to shoot it because of the shot clock.
Yeah, he had to shoot it. You're exactly right. And a lot of times a scorer or a shooter sees one goes in the bucket, that gets them going.
And Bonton now has hit 2 of his last 3 shots. He usually scores buckets in an avalanche, so we'll see. There's a short jump shot by Rosas that's off. Rapp with the rebound. Back come the Cougars.
He thought about that one.
He did.
About 35 feet away.
Abogadi. They clear out, gave it back to Rodman. DJ found a little soft spot. Shoots the jump shot, missed, but he's fouled. He'll shoot free throws. And again, Dan, I know when DJ Rodman showed up a year ago, a lot of attention on this guy because of his last name. But really, you start to see some skill in this guy. He's got a great motor. He's a good offensive rebounder, but if he can get going on the offensive end, they might have found themselves one.
Well, he does the little things. Came from a really good high school program in Southern California, Jay Serra, that prides themselves on doing the things the right way. So he's got a good base of fundamentals. It's now, as he gets more minutes as a sophomore, acclimating those skills to be able to translate them into meaningful minutes and making the most of those opportunities.
Rodman will be replaced by TJ Bamba, a freshman from the Bronx in New York. Our first look at TJ, he's 6'5", 208 pounds. We've got a 4-point game. Markovetsky, number 15, back on the floor for the Cougars as well. He's 7'1", 270 out of the Ukraine, a sophomore for Kyle Smith. And Bonton called for the reach.
Talked about a couple other guys from different countries. Washington State is one of the youngest teams in the country, but they're also one of the most diverse. 7 countries are represented. Greg, how many countries have you been to?
Oh, geez, I don't know. A couple. Boy, a little patient shot there by Weathers, but too hard. Bonton with the basketball. Cougars down by 4. It was 8 a moment ago. Here's Bamba to Bonton, and now Rapp. Markovetsky calling for the ball now. Doesn't get it as he rolled back to the post. Bonton on the free throw line. There you go. 3 of 4 now.
You see, though, that is the scorer's mentality. Hits a deep 3 with the shot clock winding down a few possessions ago. So now a tough one is shot with confidence, and it goes in.
Baldwin, the deep 3, and now Texas Southern can't buy a bucket, and it's the Cougars that are heating up offensively. Bonton with 15 points in those 4 rebounds, and Isaac coming to life here in the second half. Miller driving the baseline, and he is cut off and then fouled. And so Tony Miller, a senior at 6'6", 210. And here's Bonton again. But again, these are better shots, Dan. The defense left him space there. Took advantage of it.
Well, offensively, with the shot clock winding down again, he has the ball in the middle of the floor. Help has a longer rotation because the Cougars had nice spacing on that possession. There's been other times where help has been so easy to get there because it's so jammed up.
Bonton, the turnover, not a good play there. Here's Rosas. Rapp got back. And he did force the foul. That's an offensive foul. Goes back to Washington State. Great play from Ryan Rapp.
Willingness to step in front.
Yahuza Rosas got fooled. And it was Rapp, the sophomore from Melbourne, Australia, who got back on the defensive end. And now the Cougars with another chance to tie or take the lead with a 3. Bonton with a drive, and it goes in. These are the shots that didn't go in the first half. Bonton with 17. And we are tied at 39. Went right at Michael Weathers. And now it's the Tigers that are on their heels a bit here. Baldwin out on top on a reset to Jordan Gillen. Rapp fighting through the screen. Here's Miller with some help. Out on top, Baldwin, the 3 is off. And Bonton calmly grabs that loose rebound. Chance to take the lead here, Dan. Is it Bonton, or they got another player they set up a play for? I guess it's going to be Bamba. That 3 attempt is off. Smacked out of there by Baldwin. And the Tigers now can take the lead. Gillum in and out. Bonton the rebound. The 3-on-3. Isaac spins into the paint, throws up a wild one, bailed out by the whistle, and he'll shoot free throws with 11:37 to play, and the game tied at 39. Well, we knew Isaac Bonton is important to Washington State. He struggled in the first half. Completely different story here in the second half for the Cougars. He's brought them back, tied at 39.
Where leadership in academics and athletics launches success in life. It's what makes us the Conference of Champions.
He could go 1 of 13, which is what he did in the first half. And that doesn't affect or phase his approach to the second half. He's gotten off to a nice start with 10 quick points here in the second half. Your Tums-worthy moment.
But it's the percentage. 1 of 13 in the first half, 4 of 6 here in the second half. Is he taking better shots, or are they just going in, Dan?
I think they're just going in. I think with Isaac Bonton, his shot selection is what it is. At this point in his career, it's not going to change. He sees a glimmer of the rim, a little speck of the orange, it's going up.
And he drops through the free throws, so Washington State back in front now at 40-39. he rolls the second in. Washington State now up by a bucket, and Isaac Bonton has been everything offensively for the Cougars here in the second half. And now they go right at him defensively. It's kicked out of there. Kuntz with the rebound. Weathers with the miss.
Again, give Abu Ghadi some credit. He challenged the Texas Southern player at the rim vertically. He didn't get out of position.
Back comes Texas Southern. They can tie it up now with a bucket. And again, they get the goaltend. Count the bucket. And a foul called as well. And this will put number 15, Justin Hopkins, at the free throw line. Foul called on Bamba. And there you see Abu Ghadi got up there. So that's a double whammy against the Cougars right there, Dan.
Freshman mistakes. You got to love the effort, the energy to go after that ball. But understand, if it's a questionable, especially on a foul call like that, just let it go.
Hopkins now with 5 points for the Tigers, and they're back in front at 42-41. Bonton erupting here in the second half for the Cougars. Got the ball under the bucket, but Texas Southern, now they strip him and they take it away, and it's Gillum in transition. And now Weathers on the baseline, but he's kind of trapped down there, Rapp trying to fight through the screen. And Texas Southern now with a deliberate possession here. And the battle for the ball underneath between Hopkins and Bamba. And possession arrow keeps it with Texas Southern. Our first tie-up of this game favors the Tigers. So it'll be Hopkins inbounding. And there's a good look at TJ Bamba. Big body, Dan, at 6'5", 208.
They've got a lot of high hopes for TJ Bamba. He was the first player on this court pre-game warm-ups. He's got a little bit of work to do on his jump shot to become consistent, but they really like his physical attributes. They think he's got a chance to be a really good player in the Pac-12.
This is Gillum, 8 on the shot clock. Abu Ghadi a long way from the bucket. Drive in the middle way too hard by Nicholas. Here's Rapp with it, leading the break. Got it to Bonton. This is a deep three, way off. And Gillum the rebound. Back come the Tigers. Gillum into the lane with the bump. And the offensive foul called. Good call. Drop the shoulder. Pretty obvious.
Yeah, maybe so, but
you don't believe it.
You know, myself as a guard, if I'm pushing, attacking offensively, I want to try to search the body of the defender in a scenario like that to create some space. Rapp was still moving. If you're a Cougar fan, yes, you like the call, but I thought that's just let it play.
You're an offensive guy, though.
That is true. Just like you're a football mind, Greg.
That's right. I love a little contact.
How your Steelers doing?
Oh, wow, are they good. Under 10 minutes to play now. Game 1 of the season for Washington State.
I like what the Cougars are doing now on the offensive end. Some Princeton action, which really does a nice job of getting players in motion and movement. Unfortunately, when you're in that motion and movement setting screens, you've got to come to a stop.
And I believe that last foul was on DJ Rodman away from the bucket, so it gives it back to Texas Southern. Abu Ghadi going out of the game. You see Kyle Smith greeting him there. Sky's the limit. Veldemir Markovetsky, number 15, back on the floor. And number 2, Jamar Reedus on the floor for Texas Southern. And the offensive foul, great play by Noah Williams, and that's the kind of play that you saw from Williams a year ago as a freshman, Dan, that turned the tide, made the momentum swing back the other way.
Exactly right, Greg. Those are the plays that make you want more out of him. His length, his ability to slide his feet on the defensive end.
And then sell it.
And then sell it with his instincts, yeah. And now we see him at the point for a few minutes here.
Yes, Bonton on the floor for the Cougars. These are important minutes now for Washington State with Isaac over there getting a rest. Here's Rapp into the corner. Williams with the drive. Haynes, shot was blocked. Foul is called. No. They called an offensive foul against Williams.
Oh, it's not on Williams. It's actually on Markovetsky away from the ball.
It was on Markovetsky.
It's been quite a few offensive
calls.
Well,
we need to get another look at that.
This last couple of minute stretch.
Here's the Tigers. Nicholas. Here's Hopkins. And Williams again making the play defensively for Washington State. Into the lane, they try to tie him up. And the foul is called against Jordan Nicholas. And Noah Williams now starting to exert his will into this game and making sure that Texas Southern understands that he's also a player you got to beat if you're going to beat Washington State.
And he's done it on the defensive end, which is, quite frankly, still as a young player his strength. A couple possessions ago was sliding his feet on the ball handler, taking the charge. Then it was denying and not allowing Texas Southern to get in their offense. Eventually, he gets in the passing lane, gets a steal. He can be at his best, disrupting on the defensive end and getting out in transition, because his offensive game, as far as understanding spacing and reads, is still a work in progress.
And Isaac Bonton back on the floor for the Cougars. He's had 2 breaks in this game that I remember. They've both been very short.
As they should. I mean, we talk about sometimes he over-penetrates and forces shots, but the Cougars need him on the floor and making plays. Put so much pressure on the defense to know where he's at and try to contain him.
Hopkins got to the rim, but Kuntz with that great rebound. There's Bonton with the handle, got inside, and he pins the foul on the Tigers, and I believe this will go against John Walker, number 24. And you see some of the handle from Bonton. I love his creativity at times. He's got the ability to create his own shot. He's a fun player to watch play this game.
You mentioned it. Plays with a creativity. He's got a good handle, and you pair that with his aggressiveness. He is a tough cover.
Missing the free throw. Bonton's first miss. He's now 6 of 7. He's got 19 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. 19 points on 5 field goals. And he missed them both. So it remains a 1-point Texas Southern lead. Remember, the last time these 2 programs met, it was 2017, and they needed overtime to settle it. Washington State came away with the win. Here's Walker with the offensive rebound. Jamar Reedus into the corner. Nice catch in that corner, but Hopkins off balance with that shot, missed everything. Here's Bonton to the rim. Scoop shot goes. Cougars lead by a point. Bonton now with 21.
But that's an example of how he puts so much pressure on your defense. Kind of a 50-50 push in transition, but he goes for it, gets the 2 points.
Michael Weathers backs it out. Now he drives the lane right at Markovetsky. No foul, loose ball. Rodman with the rebound. Bonton with it now, and he'll slow it down.
There's a nice combination for Washington State at the 5 between Abou-Gadi and Markovetsky. The athleticism and the size contrast each other very well.
And our second tie-up of this game this time goes to Washington State. And it'll be Cougar basketball when we come back. 7:05 to play in Pullman. Isaac Bonton has come to life for Washington State. He's got 21 points, 7 rebounds, a big bucket there. Close one in Pullman.
Also available to veterans. Learn more about United Through Reading and download our free secure app at unitedthroughreading.org.
And welcome back to Pullman, Washington. Pac-12 tip-off week presented by Tums. We've got a good one for you. Cougars up by a point, 43-42, 7:05 to play. Greg Heister, Dan Dickow Dan, here's the summary. Isaac Bonton struggled in the first half. His offense has blown up in the second half. We got a good one going.
We do. It's been a tale of two halves for Bonton. The Cougars have done a nice job of limiting Texas Southern in transition here in the second. But quite frankly, both teams have struggled shooting the ball from the field, under 30% on the game. If either team can get a little bit of daylight and knock some shots down, they're going to be able to separate and come out with a win.
It hasn't been the prettiest thing. It's been a highly competitive game.
Yeah, but I don't think you can expect a highly skilled and well-played game after everybody's experiences with practice and COVID.
They're going to count that bucket by Bonton because of a goaltend. He was also fouled. He goes to the free throw line now. And I want to see this replay because he just did a 360, I think, or at least a 180. I don't know. I'm not good at math, Dan. Under the bucket and got that ball up there.
I mean,
I love this guy.
You want your guys to play with confidence, and then there's Isaac Bonton confidence. I mean, he will shoot it under any circumstance. I mean, Abu Ghadi had a bad goaltend earlier in the game. That was a bad goaltend for Texas Southern there.
Long way from a 360. But Bonton has got 24 points. And that's off of Markovetsky, I believe. Out of bounds, it remains with Texas Southern. But listen, Washington State, they're going to get their wins this year. But Isaac Bonton is not going to be able to take a night off. And there's the offensive foul. And that goes against Jordan Nicholas. And is that Kuntz that took that charge underneath?
It's at least the second, maybe the third charge of the night that Kuntz has taken. Give him a lot of credit stepping in there and taking that charge.
If you're Isaac Bonton, Dan, do you feel the pressure of having to score 25 points a night for your team to have a chance to win?
Well, I think it's so early in the season, you're still trying to figure it out. He's a competitor. He wants to win, and at this point in time, he feels what's best for his team to have a chance to win is he's got to be ultra aggressive. As they learn more about some of the other guys, he'll start figuring it out, and Coach Kyle Smith will put them in the right spots.
2 on the shot clock. Bonton is tripped, and he is fouled before that horn. And this will go against Galen Alexander. And with 5:59 to go, that's a big call with Washington State up by 4 now at 46-42. And Bonton going back to the free throw line where he is 7 of 9 in this game.
Well, it's also important because it puts Washington State in the double bonus. So they'll be shooting 2 free throws the rest of the way. And Bonton led the conference in free throw percentage a season ago, which is why it was so shocking when he missed 2 in a row earlier in this half.
And you see the officials donning their masks. They have to go over now. They want to take another look at this play to see if there's flagrance, I'm assuming. Let me ask you this, Dano. There's a balance that every team has to play with, especially when you have a scorer like Isaac Bonton. As we take another look at the replay, the balance of playing within the offense, but knowing that you don't want Bonton to quit shooting. It's a tough balance, isn't it?
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think those challenges are
actually, they're just I'm sorry to interrupt, but they're just looking to see if that foul happened before the shot clock violation, and it clearly did, I believe. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're right. I think with all of the preparation and stops and starts and trying to figure things out and get in shape and adjust to these new rules, you're going to see lots of, I don't want to call it ugly basketball early in this college season, but I think what you're going to see is a lot of disjointed college basketball. You might see 3 or 4 minute stretches where things look really good, followed by a couple 3-4 minute stretches of really ugly basketball. And so I think it's a work in progress for everybody right now.
So the foul stands. Bonton at the line to shoot 2. That was 2 fouls against Galen Alexander now in this game. And Bonton softly drops the free throw through. He's got 25 points. He is 8 of 10 from the free throw line, and I love that from a guard, Dan. Because you can have a tough night shooting the basketball, but if you're always going to the rim, you have a chance to get to that line and get easy points.
Yeah, and you want to be able to trust the guys at the end of the game to be able to make free throws down the stretch, and you've absolutely got that in Bonton.
This might be the largest lead of the game now for Washington State. They're on a 17-3 run, and they lead it by 6, 5:45 to play. Remember now, this is a team, is Texas Southern, with some veterans on it. Picked to win the SWAC this year. There's the drive by Weathers, but that shot is off. Cougar defense there. So this is not a Texas Southern team that will get rattled and that will go away. They're going to battle Washington State right to the final horn.
An experienced group. They always play a tough non-conference schedule, and they're picked to win the SWAC.
And a foul call. Rodman with a great aggressive move there. Caught the ball 20 feet from the rim and went right at it.
Direct line drives. And players like Rodman, who are maybe not the most creative with their ball handling skills and ability to create space with that, have to be able to learn how to do two things. Make an open jump shot as well as direct line drive to put defensive pressure at the rim.
That foul called on Yahuza Rosas, and that is number 5. So Yahuza will have to come out of the game. He's replaced by John Walker, who had a nice first half for Texas Southern, but the Cougars have held him in check this second half. And Rodman at the line with his 6 points and a rebound. And these free throws are going to be huge down the stretch, to say the least. DJ now with 7 points. He's 2 of 3 from the line. Day is over for Rosas. He had some good moments in that first half for Texas Southern, but has been in such foul trouble throughout this game. They've had a hard time keeping him on the floor. He's talented. Preseason first team all SWAC kind of player. So here's Alexander right at Markovetsky. Rodman with the block from behind. So it's off of Rodman, Texas Southern basketball.
Texas Southern's really trying to put the ball on the deck and attack Markovetsky. And he's done a nice job of contesting without fouling.
When you're 7'1" and 270, you're formidable just standing straight up with your arms up in the air, right?
Yeah, probably true.
And again, they go right at Markovetsky. Foul is called. And it goes against Voldemir. And it's slow to get up as Michael Weathers. That kid's got a lot of courage. You can tell he loves going to that rim. Not a big guy. He's 6'3", 175 out of Roland Park, Kansas, a transfer from Oklahoma State. 8-point game. Weathers with 7 points, missing the free throw. And number 22, Ryan Rapp, back into the game for Washington State. DJ Rodman going out.
I would expect to see quite a few of these defensive substitutions down the stretch of this game. A better ball handler than DJ Rodman, preparing maybe for some pressure from Texas Southern.
Jordan Gillum on the floor, number 11 for Texas Southern. Free throw up and good by Weathers. Texas Southern 7 of 9 from that free throw line. Washington State up by 7. 4:58 to play in Pullman. The Cougars trying to get their first win in their first game of this season. Back in a moment.
I know what you're thinking.
Listen, I didn't want to jinx him and talk about this stat earlier in the game, but Washington State has won 24 consecutive season-opening games in the Beasley. They've never lost here. You go back 30 games in a row where they've lost in their home opener. And so they're really tough to beat to start a season. But this game is far from decided here tonight. Up by 7 at 50-43 with 4:47 to play. And Bonton with the ball. And it's poked away Alexander. Kuntz trying to beat him back. And a foul is called, and this will put Galen Alexander at the free throw line. And then that's an unforced error there. Not a good one.
Well, you see Bonton and Kuntz talking it out right there. You know, Bonton's got to understand Texas Southern is going to climb up into you and create pressure. And they're going to shoot the lanes, the passing lanes, that is. So you have to be 100% certain that pass is available there. But Kuntz, on his end, he's got to come to the basketball. You have to understand pressure is going to get turned up.
And Alexander hits the front end. He's now got 6 points, 7 rebounds. And you have to assume that the intensity by Texas Southern will only increase here over the final 4 minutes and 37 seconds. This is a team that's come a long ways to try to earn a win against the Power 5 school. And you see the pressure now. Bonton with it. So you're going to have to make good decisions down this stretch. This game will be won as much by their ability to think the game than play the game. And Williams will go to the free throw line.
But I like what Texas Southern did there. After Bonton gave up the ball, they denied it back. Because if you're scouting Washington State right now, who would you be concerned about? Isaac Bonton. He had a struggle in the first half, but he's bounced back and made plays here in the second. But if you're Noah Williams, this is a chance for you to instill confidence in the coaching staff that you can be counted upon down the stretch of games this season.
And Dan, this is interesting. Isaac Bonton and Jazz Kuntz still talking about that possession where they turned the ball over a moment ago. They need to forget, right?
Yeah.
And move on.
As a point guard, you have to have a short memory as far as teaching and talking to your guys on a play that maybe there was a miscommunication. Talk to them, clear it up really quick, and then it becomes a point of leadership and encouragement, not staying on the same topic over and over again.
Now, I just saw Jordan Nichols kind of showing the officials his elbows like somebody was swinging an elbow, and now the officials have gone over to the monitor. I wonder if Nichols is claiming he was hit by someone's elbow. We'll try to figure it out when we come back. 4:18 to play in Pullman. It's a 5-point Washington State lead.
We have a crisis.
End hunger and poverty worldwide by investing in a new breed of success.
And welcome back. 4:18 to play. The officials went over to the monitor. Either they were unable to see what they were looking for because it happened after the play, or they didn't see enough to make a call. But it's something that involved Noah Williams in the corner there, and the closeout by number 5, Jordan Nicholas. And so it either happened after the pan of the camera or there was nothing there. Hard to tell. We're up now because of COVID. We're not down on the floor. Normally the officials would come over and explain to us exactly what they were looking at. Or we would have what they call a red hat over there that could dig out some information for us. But because of COVID, we're a little hamstrung because of that. So Noah Williams at the free throw line. Washington State up by 5. Needless to say, these free throws are enormous down the stretch, and Williams long on the first one.
They're obviously important for this game, but I think more importantly, they're important for Noah Williams and his confidence. 0 of 5 from the field tonight, as well as 0 of 2 from the line, make it now 0 of 3. He's got to become a dependable player down the stretch for Kyle Smith.
So here we go. This is Gillen. Williams there defensively. From the elbow, jump shot is good by Jordan Gillen, and it's a 3-point game under 4 minutes to go.
Mark Pavetsky's put in 2 pick and rolls there. That's a hard ask of him to be able to cover a ball handler in that situation.
And now the pressure gave Washington State a little trouble. They got through. Here's Rapp stepping up, deep 3, too hard. And another rebound, and it's Gillum with it for Texas Southern. Not a good shot, Dan.
No, he shot it with 15 on the shot clock. There's no need.
And Alexander from the corner ties the game at 50 with 3:29 to play. And a frustrated head coach and Kyle Smith calls the timeout. And I said a moment ago that this game will be decided by someone who can think the game just as much as someone who can play the game. And right now, Cougars didn't make good plays down the this possession.
No, not at all. Rapp with an ill-advised three, and then you don't get back and matched up in transition. Texas Southern throws it ahead. Gilliam to the shooter Alexander in the corner. Big time three to draw us even at 50.
So Texas Southern on an 8-0 run. They've tied the game at 50 with 3:29 to play, and you have to assume the Washington State coach is in a circle over there trying to figure out what to do over these final 3:29. But you know offensively it's going to focus around Isaac Bontown.
Well, if you're Washington State, you've got to have the ball in his hands. So I would imagine or would expect an early pick and roll up top to let him to see if he can create something early, or maybe find a big, whether it's Markovetsky or if Abogati comes in the game on a roll. If not, get him off the ball, move, read and react to screens, and get him in a secondary pick and roll action. But I would imagine the ball has got to be in Bonton's hand at some point in this possession.
Markovetsky, Rapp, Williams. Actually, I don't believe Williams is on the floor. I see DJ Rodman. Kuntz with the basketball, and now Bonton. But again, he's got to beat the pressure. Rapp there to help. Here's a wild pass. Rodman with the catch. And now some trouble. Here's Bonton. 18 on the shot clock. And Weathers down in that defensive stance for Texas Southern, watching Isaac. Bonton now moves with the left hand, got to the rim. Maybe a hand on that shot, I don't know, but it was short. Back comes Texas Southern. Here's Gillum. And it's taken away by Jas Kuntz. Man, he's played some good defensive plays in this game tonight for the Cougars.
He's only got one field goal in the afternoon, evening, but he's been tremendous on the defensive end of the floor. Number of charges taken, that a big steal.
And it's been more than 4 minutes now for the Cougars without a field goal made, and the pressure 8 on the shot clock, and Bonton's got to make some magic happen here. 3, he's going to shoot. In and out. Kuntz up high for the rebound. And he gives Washington State another possession. That is an enormous rebound with 2:20 to play. Markovetsky. And the offensive foul, boy, doing a great job to sell that is the undersized Jordan Nicholas. You agree with that call, Dan?
I do. And part of the reason why is you have to understand, as a big like Markovetsky, and you're in a post-up situation and it's spread and you've got a smaller player on you. Yeah, you want to back him down, but you can't go straight through the chest. You've got to take angles, work up the lane at an angle, drop step back to the baseline, or vice versa. Angle to the baseline, drop step back to the middle.
Markovetsky out of the game. He's replaced by Tony Miller. Loose ball off the Cougars, so a legal play, but 12 on the shot clock for Gillum. He drives, hangs. Rapp was there defensively. A loose ball and a loose ball foul called against Texas Southern. And this is big because Washington State obviously in the double bonus. And with 1:52 to go, as that foul called on Walker, and that is his 5th. So Texas Southern now with 2 players, John Walker, Yahuza Rosas, have fouled out of this game, but in comes Justin Hopkins, and he's had moments in this game, Dan, where you're like, wow, that guy's got to be on the floor more. So they may lose Walker, but Hopkins is dangerous. Here's Kuntz at the line. And he calmly drops in the first free throw. Jazz now with 8 points. Cougars with a 1-point lead and 1:52 to play. Kuntz, clutch. 2-point game. Here's Weathers. Bonton picking him up. This is Alexander. Rodman there defensively. Bonton had a chance. Texas Southern throws it away. There's a turnover. Cougars with a real opportunity to make this a 2-possession game with 1:33 to play.
This is where, again, ball needs to be in Bonton's hands. You don't necessarily have to run a ton of time down, but you don't want to be in a hurry.
Here's Rapp. Bonton. Rodman. Courage to shoot the three. Missed it. Tipped out of there by Kuntz. Grabbed by Weathers. And the Tigers with the opportunity now. Trailing by 2. Weathers was hung up in the air by Rapp. And they call the foul, I believe, on Ryan Rapp, but he was in position defensively.
Foul on number 22, Ryan Rapp. That's his first personal.
And that will put Weathers at the free throw line. He's 2 of 3 in this game. Weathers has had a nice ball game. 8 points, 7 rebounds, an assist. Really active, has made it very difficult for Bonton at times defensively. He's been trying to guard number 10 throughout this game. And Weathers hits the front end. Now both teams are into the double bonus. That was the 10th personal foul against Washington State. This to tie it. Tied at 52. Under a minute to go. And Isaac Bonton with the basketball. Rapp, Kuntz, Miller, and Rodman for the Washington State Cougars. That's Miller setting the screen. Isaac with some space. He'll shoot it. This is a long 2. It's short. And the rebound by Jordan Gillum. 40 seconds to play. Tied at 52. Texas Southern basketball.
If you're Washington State, you've got to make sure you corral the rebound on a miss. Too many times in these situations, you don't finish the possession.
Alexander, the deep 3. Kuntz with the rebound, and now the Cougars. And the foul is called against Galen Alexander. Huge call with 23.9 seconds to go. Wow.
Johnny Jones looked over at him like, what are you doing? I mean, clearly Kuntz has inside position, does a nice job with the rebound, but Alexander reaches in for no apparent reason. Kuntz has been perfect from the line tonight.
Yeah, these are big here. Also his 4th rebound in that possession. Actually 6 rebounds. Our stat machine's a little bit behind up here. 9 points, 6 rebounds, and no free throws bigger than that one right there. Washington State up by a point, and here comes Efe Ubagadi. We haven't seen him much in this second half. He was an important player for the Cougars in the first half, but this guy is a game changer down the stretch. Could be.
Tremendous potential.
Jazz Kuntz clutch at the free throw line. And it gives Washington State the 2-point lead with 23.9 seconds to play. And look, say what you want about Washington State's overall performance in this game. Kyle Smith will find out a lot about his team, Dan, over these final 2 minutes, because when you can, again, make the right plays and then make sure that you execute well. Kuntz with those free throws, he's got some courage on this team.
Yeah, you as a coach, you always want to find out which guys are up to the challenge in big moments. Kuntz has made a number of nice defensive plays. He's knocked down 2 big free throws. Defensively now, it looks as though they're going with a lineup that can almost switch 1 through 5 depending on what their philosophy is with Abugadi. But keep dribble penetration to a minimum. No open threes, contest, and again, finish with the rebound if you're Washington State.
I mean, with Abugadi, Williams, DJ Rodman, the length of Kuntz, Bonton on the ball, this is a pretty good defensive lineup that the Cougars can throw out there over these final 20 seconds. Here we go. Weathers with it, number 20. Noah Williams guarding him, and the offensive foul again. Noah Williams gets it done again. He's a master at that.
Second charge taken on the ball handler here in the second half. That's just getting down in a stance, sliding your feet, and keeping your chest in front. Tremendous job by Noah Williams there.
But watch Weathers, that left hand, it does, like there, you don't see it from that angle, but there is a little extension with that left arm. That's a big call with 11 seconds to play. Washington State up by 2. Williams now taxed with trying to get the ball in. Handoff to Bonton. And now there's the foul. That will put Isaac Bonton at the free throw line, where he is 9 of 11 in this game. Stops the clock with 9.4 seconds to go. And obviously down by 2. 2 free throws makes it 2 possessions. Bonton, an 88.6% free throw shooter a year ago. He was 62 of 70. One of the best in the Pac-12. Nothing but net there. He's now 10 of 12 in this game. See that little extension with that arm? What do you think, Dan? Good call?
It's a great call. Give Noah Williams a ton of credit again. He's gotten in a stance. He's slid his feet and kept the ball handler in front multiple times like that tonight.
And now Texas Southern's got to get a quick one. Shot away. Well off by Gillum. Loose ball, and that's it. Rebound by Noah Williams, and that'll do it. Washington State holds on, and they win it 56-52. And I think Kyle Smith learned a lot about his team tonight in these final minutes.
Without a doubt. Guys made big plays, stepping up, making free throws, in particular Bonton and Kuntz. And then 2 big-time defensive plays by Noah Williams down the stretch. Both of them taking charges on the ball handler. A good opening night win, at least for the Cougars in regards to it going in the win column. Lots of improvement can be had to get ready for Saturday, as they shot under 30% from the field and turned it over too many times. But a win's a win.
Yes. Yes.
Win, improve, get ready for the next one.
In this era right now, COVID, and we just saw one of the effects of what we're going to see throughout this season. No more handshakes at the end of every college basketball game. Usually the walk-through line. None of that tonight. A long-term wave. Thanks, guys. Great game. Hey, look. It wasn't the prettiest game tonight in Pullman, but in the end, Washington State holds on to take down Texas Southern 56-52. They're led by Isaac Bonton, who was huge in this second half. Without him, Washington State can't get it done. And for the 25th season, the Cougars win their season opener at home. What a great streak here at the Beasley Coliseum. For Dan Dickau, the rest of our crew, I'm Greg Heister. Good night from Pullman, Washington. The Cougars are 1-0.